I am. We're all gonna have a 10. All right, you ready?
Yeah.
All right. Let's go. 3, 2, 1. Boop, 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 boop.
And the dog walked up to the lemonade stand and he said to the man,
Run in the stand. Hey!
Guys need grapes. Yo guys, welcome back to Ask Akira. This is 41 podcast.
That's right, it is.
Akira, the Ask Akira.
Yeah, it is.
I was just watching some random YouTubers I don't know, so I'm not going to carry on watching that. So, thanks, goodbye.
Bye. Thanks for that, Hercules. Wow, we in here. We're in here, and we got an intro from Hercules today. How about that? That's amazing. So, yeah, thank you, Hercules, for that. We appreciate you. Shouts out to everybody locked in. Gang, indeed. Let me know where everybody is at. We need to know where everybody is at so we can kick this thing off. It is a beautiful Saturday right here at the peak of recorded human civilization. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling great. I got a coffee. I got a big ass bottle of Fiji. I got some new USB leads. I got a bright orange USB. I got a purple USB. Yeah, this is for the DJ sets that we're doing here in the crib. So just like upgrading that whole setup with some like new USBs, got some new plugs. I'm super excited, man. I've been buying plugs. I've been buying adapters, power adapters off Amazon. Oh, and guess what else? You know I got an e-scooter. I've been e-scooting my life away around Los Angeles, just like riding around the place. Anyway, the battery is supposed to last for like 17 miles, but it kept running out after like 6. I'd be like cycling back to West Hollywood from downtown Los Angeles, scooting, and it would just run out like 2/3 of the way along the journey. It's like, shit. Anyway, they sent me a whole new scooter. So now I've got 2 scooters. So that means that the Don family, we can be scooting. On the scooter, I got an extra handle for Hercules, so it's like a little handle for him. Shabba. And yeah, so we can like scoot around as a family now, and that's just an exciting, beautiful thing. What a time to be alive. Where's everybody at? Oh my goodness, Diverting Tales is in the building. He's in Vienna. Nick Nicholson is in Estonia. Mitchell Smith is in Scotland. Inside the Ages is somewhere, Colorado. Sir Peppers is in Gang. Where's Gang, Sir Peppers? Sir Peppers collates the questions, and he got them in with 1 minute to spare today. I like that. That's powerful. Powerful activities. Rowdy Ruckus is in the building. What's cracking? What's cracking? Everybody. King Malvo is in Texas. Texas in the house. That's right. It's Ask Akira 41. We're about to get in. My guy, 2 more visas out there in Germany. Shouts out to 2 more visas. I've been working him to death. Antonio Flores is in Chicago. Yeah. Pieta is in South Africa. Oh my goodness. Nice. Mitchell Smith, Scotland. See, this is, as always, a truly international broadcast. And a truly international broadcast requires a truly international bonding ceremony to get things going. And that would be the international high five. That's the high five. Jasper's reporting in from Sweden. Bless up. Akira is coming in from Alaska. Sir Peppers is in GA. See, we've got that's it's international, man. We got to get down in international fashion. You got to aim for the elbow. All right, you got to aim for the elbow. That's how you make it connect, no matter what's going on. I'll be in the club. I'll be DJing. Motherfuckers trying to be high-five me from every fucking angle. I hit all of those. I hit them. Aim for the elbow. So let's get it. Neocron is also in Germany. Neocron did some incredible shredding on a track on the new album. My goodness. All right, let's get it. Aim for the elbow. 3, 2, 1. Boom! That was the international high five. Brothers and sisters. Shouts out to Ziga in Slovenia. Shouts out to Corey in Anaheim, California. You bad motherfuckers. It's good to see you. It's good to see you all. And here we are on a Saturday. What's been going on in the world of Don? This week was usually it's about once a month. I've been trying, we're on this album a month schedule. It's hitting about that. This was the finishing the album week, so that meant like I was in the studio till 2 in the morning or whatever, like every night. And yeah, it came out good. It came out so good. I listened to it last night. The album was finished. I scooted home from the studio. I scooted back from downtown Los Angeles through the LA streets. Scooted through those LA streets with the album in my ears, and it's pretty fucking great. It's magnificent. It's magnificent. So yeah, I do believe that we're going to drop it on September 6th. It will drop September 6th. We will preview, there will be a single next week. The first single will be next week, and then the album will follow the week after. And part of the reason I'm doing that is so I can get ahead on the schedule a bit, because we're going straight into the next album, and I want that to come out like very, very quick afterwards. So we're already into that. We're already into the next album. Like I always say, rule number 1 of hyperproductivity is once you're in the zone, you stay in the zone. And we're definitely in the zone right now. We're definitely in the zone. This new album had so many crazy synchronicities attached to it. So many ridiculous things occurred. And it's always the way. But like I always say, sync's a signpost. That's how you know you're in the right direction. That's how you know you're on the right path. If you've got any questions, just ask those questions. They will be answered if you're paying attention. What's that Leonard Cohen line? We asked for signs, but signs were sent. The signs are there, baby. The signs is always there. Yeah. Rowdy Ruckers 88 says we need Rainwave for the Amazon. Yeah. A rain of goddamn vengeance. A rain of righteous vengeance on the heads of whatever is responsible for this latest international assault. To be honest, I haven't been paying too much attention to the news this week because I've been working so hard on this album. But so I don't really know what's going on, so I couldn't really comment. But I'm aware that there's fire. Oh, Darren is here. He's from New Zealand, and Julie's high-fiving from the ATL. And Nomashura, whose name I can never pronounce, says great energy. Guess what? Love you. Guess what? Gang. Guess what? Wave, gang, or drown. How are we doing? It was a busy week. We had content every day, just like we promised. We had that new Noam Chomsky single. The new Noam Chomsky single dropped. And that's going great. That's popping off on Spotify right now. So that's good, and people seem to be really enjoying that. Let me know what you thought about that. The comments were great on the video up here. I've been getting a lot of nice messages of people, and a lot of people saying they didn't expect it. And that's good, you know. And here's the thing, there's a few people who are like, oh, I don't like Noam Chomsky, I disagree with Noam Chomsky, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, but do you disagree with him on his position of free speech? I don't think you do. I think we can all agree in this community that Noam Chomsky's position on free speech, which is my position on free speech, which is either you have free speech or you don't. It's like there's no gray areas with free speech. Either you have free speech or you do not. Either you believe in free speech or you do not. And if you do believe in free speech, then you believe in free speech, specifically for speech you disagree with. Otherwise, you don't agree with free speech. Boom! Easy. I've always said this. I was in an argument with, I think it was Caitlin Moran or someone like that on Twitter, about 4 or 5 years ago when this latest wave kind of kicked off. And a lot of those blue checkmark people on Twitter, I say that I have one, but they were getting all angry that people could reply to their tweets and disagree with them, and they were really upset about this, and they were trying to organize some kind of Twitter union to somehow stop people from being able to reply to them or something. You're like, that's not what this forum is, really. It's like, go somewhere else. And anyway, what was we talking about? Oh, yes. But I felt it was important, because I've been wanting to do a free speech track for ages. And there was a bunch of people who've spoken about it, and they've spoken very eloquently about it, that I could have made songs with. Peterson's talked about it very eloquently. Count Dankula, who was the gentleman from Scotland, who was arrested for uploading a meme video in which he got his dog to do a Sieg Heil as a prank on his girlfriend, and he got arrested for that because the UK is a meme. He did a great video on free speech and the whole shouting in a crowded movie theater thing, that I was like, well, this could be a great piece of music. But it's like, the way things are right now, we're at this very strange period in time where the people who used to be arguing for free speech are now arguing against it, and vice versa. And I felt it was important for the message to come from the so-called side that needs to hear it right now, and also come from a historical period of like, what, 15, 20 years ago? It's like, that's how quick changes. That's how quick stuff changes out here. Oh my goodness. And you know, that's worth bearing in mind, because you go, okay, well, things are likely to be different again in not so long. But what's not going to be different is the fact that free speech is the fundamental, it's the foundation upon which this precarious miracle of a society is built. Without it, there is nothing. And go away, you little bug. No free speech for you, bug. Shoot. Yeah, without it, man, we ain't got shit. Alright. So that's what's up with that. And yes. Stephen Thomas says Noam Chomsky has something like 80 books and 1,000 hours of lecture. To say you disagree with Chomsky needs a lot of clarification. The man has commented on 90% of social issues ever. Exactly. This is a very good point. God damn it. I mean, here's the thing. If you 100% agree with any one human, I would be surprised. And I would also be suspicious. Now, you know, some people you're going to agree with them more and some people less. But I am of the opinion that everybody has something valuable to add, even if it's something to counter, even if it's something to riff off or whatever it is. And that's what we're trying to do here in the Meaningwave universe, ladies and gentlemen. So Papa says to change one's mind, you have to speak their language. Yeah, that's true. In persuasion, they call that pacing and leading. So you talk to a person and you kind of talk to them in the way they talk. You adapt a bit of their accent even almost, or their speech mannerisms. You mirror their body language. You kind of show them that you are like they are. And then you can start persuading them. You can start leading them somewhere else once you've got them on your side. That's a thing you can do. And yeah. Nilo Clipped says, how I hope I could be as efficient as you. Love your music, especially the JBP ones. Well, thank you so much. It was another crazy week in JBP land. You know, he's been less active lately because Tammy's been ill. Tammy's on the mend now, which is wonderful news. And Tammy's getting better, and immediately, boom, back to business. Quora, the gatekeepers at Quora took down the 42 Rules for Life post. That original post, which inspired the book, which I had Jordan read and turn into that wonderful song, that's been deleted from Quora. Doesn't exist on Quora anymore. They said it was spam. Yo, but the good thing is that I got Dr. Peterson to record him reading out those 42 rules for life, and I turned it into a song, and that song will outlive us all, brothers and sisters. That song will outlive us all. So yeah, nice try, Quora. Nice try, but you failed. Humble Honk Pill Farmer, what a wonderful name, says my 7-year-old son Henry says hello. Shouts out to Henry. Big up Henry all day. Does Henry play Minecraft? I imagine Hercules would like to know. Hercules wants to know if everyone plays Minecraft. Hercules is crazy. He's 6.5, and like he suddenly discovered girls, and he's been going to this after-school club, and he suddenly got like a bunch of girls. What was his thing last week? I picked him up, and he said that he'd broken up with one of his girlfriends, but that's okay because he's still got 3 more. Like what? They've been. He's like, he was asking my wife Charlotte yesterday. He's like, when you were a little girl, did you chase boys and try and kiss them? Wife said nothing. But yeah, that's what's up. So he's at that point in his life. He's going to this after-school club, and the girls just chase him around trying to kiss him. Girls are still doing that. I'm afraid. Postmodernists. I'm afraid your plans are failing because girls are still chasing boys and trying to kiss them. Too bad, man. Too bad. Zaid Pig said I lost respect for Quora. I cancelled Quora 3 years ago Because Quora sends you these messages. It makes you sort of, if you want to use it, if you don't know what it is, Quora is like a platform where people ask questions and people answer them. And but what I noticed a couple of 3 years ago was Quora has the same kind of political, ideological bias as much of contemporary big tech or whatever. And it would rank questions, it would rank the answers to questions based on ideology. I noticed that very quickly. And it'd be sending me these daily digests, and they just had that the derangement syndrome that has afflicted a bunch of the populace, and it was just like daily Quora meltdowns, and they were often just completely factually incorrect. They would be on things that I had intimate knowledge of, and they would be posting the top answers as being things that were just wrong or ideologically charged and therefore not factual but opinion. So Quora has been useless for a while, unfortunately. So there you go, never mind. So Pepper says Herc is a G. So Pepper is correct. Julie Worslin says the most popular answer of all time on Quora is spam. Yeah, you're right, Julie. It wasn't just a good post. It was the most popular post of all time. James Altucher used to run Quora. What are these? There's two of these little bugs. There's three bugs. What the hell are these bugs? Whoa, what are these guys? Bugger off. Excuse me, I'm trying to do an international broadcast, you bugs. And James Altucher, he's very prolific on Quora, does some great work on there, but then they started like replacing his useful answers with those of ideologically possessed morons. Now their platform is useless, and that's what's happening to Google, unfortunately. Like, Google as a search engine is now useless because it doesn't give you what you're looking for. So I use DuckDuckGo. Yeah! Shouts out to DuckDuckGo. All day. Gnome Shura says Gonzo. Gonzo all day. Oh, can you see that? I don't know if you can. I have Hunter S. Thompson's letterhead tattooed on my left forearm. Derp Hornstall says, I love your music, man. I love you, Derp. Bless the frick up. Bless the frick up. Oh, Two More Visas got a question. Says, what would be a thing Peterson said that you don't completely agree with or don't agree with? That's a good question. I'd have to think, though. I can't think of anything off the top of my head. Shit. There's got to be something. And, oh my goodness. There's this documentary coming out called The Rise of Jordan Peterson, and the makers of the documentary sent me an advance screener of it, because we're talking about doing something together for the launch, which is very exciting. Anyway, so I watched that, and oh my god, it was crazy. So like, they were making a documentary about Peterson from 2014 or something, I think it was 2014, 2015, but they were just interested in his maps of meaning work. They were interested in his maps of meaning work, so they were there to make a documentary about that. And they were filming him doing his own personality test with his family and stuff of that nature. And there's a famous, gee whiz, what are these guys? Yo! These are very strange little fly creatures, and there's a whole bunch of them. I don't know where they come from. Oh my god. Yeah, there was a famous documentary about Hugo Chavez. And it was some Irish filmmakers who were there covering something or the other. And then they were going to go talk to Chavez about something separate. And then there was a coup while they were there. So they caught the whole military coup in this documentary, kind of accidentally. The same thing has happened with this Peterson documentary, because they were just there to do a documentary about this lecturer who was interested in archetypes. And then suddenly the whole thing kicked off, and then continued to kick off, and they captured it all. And it's a startling thing, because 2016, that was only 3 years ago, and it feels like a lifetime ago. And when you're watching this documentary, it's like, oh, I remember that, I was on the internet when that happened, I saw that, and I was like, wow, I was there from the very beginning. And it's just mind-blowing how quickly the world can change, how quickly history unfolds in front of us. And yeah, it was a crazed thing. But yeah, I can't think of something I disagree with. There's got to be a whole bunch because yeah, I was like every bit of footage of Peterson they showed, I'd seen. It's like I really have been deep in the world of that man. Because I'll be making these things and I'm like, shit, I bet I've missed something really important, or I bet there was something that I should have covered that I didn't, or whatever. But actually, I've been pretty good. I've actually been pretty good, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, anyway, let me try and percolate on this. 2 more V's. I'm sure I'll come up with something. Ethan says, what's the documentary on? It's not out yet. It's coming out in October, I believe. So keep an eye out for that. It's called The Rise of Jordan Peterson. It's got a very cool cover. It's really, really well made. It's not like a fan thing, and it's not a hatchet job. It's actually very balanced. It's a document. It's an actual document. As a documentary, it's an actual document of a period in history and the story of a man and his family getting caught in the eye of this whirlwind. And it's also, it's like how much of that was deliberate, how much of it wasn't, how much was happenstance. Yeah, and it gives you some of the people involved who are on the opposite side. You get their stories. There's a trans activist. You see their story a bit. It's like, it's good. It's very good. Anyway, Julie says, Peterson's been quiet lately. Hope he's well. Yeah, well, Tammy, his wife, has been very ill, but she's getting better now. And yeah, so he's about to come back. He's about to come back so hard. Like, it's gonna be funny. It's gonna be funny. Just you watch. He's coming back super hard. We're about to hit whole new levels of. I spoke about this a while ago, and I compared Peterson's approach or whatever to 50 Cent's. Get embroiled in high level public drama, and then the people come, and then you've got this fantastic catalogue of work, and then people stay for that. And that's what 50 Cent did when he kicked off. He had this very strong mixtape catalogue. He got embroiled in all manner of drama, getting shot at, getting in beefs and stuff. People came, they stayed. And yeah. So Peterson's got like the mixtape rapper strategy down fucking pat, and he's about to go nuclear. God, this is freaking me out. How do I open the window? All right. Anyway, we should answer some questions. So here's a question. Pogo Biff says, how has the creation of Meaningwave positively affected your life? Well, first, maybe we should flip the question around a bit and say, for reasons of balance, how has the creation of Meaningwave negatively impacted my life? And I would say it hasn't. It hasn't negatively impacted my life. It's only been positive. Now, there's lots of answers to this I could give. So the creation of Meaningwave, the thing that we make and we do and we are, the vehicle that we will ride to our glory. Do you know one major thing about Meaningwave is there's a bit in The Matrix where Keanu Reeves plugs his head into the machine because he needs to go fight some motherfucker, and then he's like, I know Kung Fu. Every time I finish an album, I feel a bit like that. I go so deep into the world of a person and for their wisdom and finding their most useful wisdoms, and then turning those most useful wisdoms into audio affirmations that burrow into one's subconscious. So every time I get to the end and it's like I've kind of assimilated a part of them, and then I have that, and I can basically take what's useful to me and reject what's not, and add that to my being. So I keep lurching forward, and each record I kind of get like more integrated with more usefulness. It's like in Akira, where he's like kind of like assimilating all the bits of weaponry in the garbage dump and all that type of stuff. And I think that's happening with you guys too, right? Yeah. Everyone who's here on this journey, all of us, each time we're picking up some new stuff and we can add that to our armory and we're getting a bit more powerful and a bit more useful, a bit more integrated. So that's, that's one way Meaningwave has changed my life and continues to change my life on a daily basis. It's just like me today is very different to me just 4 weeks ago. Like I'm way more sort of powerful and integrated and able to deal with certain things. I noticed making this album, stuff that used to get me really angry, didn't now. Like technical things happen or whatever, and like didn't really mess with me. Like now in this album process, I was able to go, oh well, we'll deal with that somehow. Where stuff that just like on the previous record, I'd be like, I'd be getting all this. I'm like way better at controlling my emotions and shit now. I'm way better at looking for the upside. There was one track that I did a lot of work on the new album, and then I realized right at the sort of end mixing period that there was an issue wherein the vocal that I was sampling had some inherent extra melody in it, which I hadn't been able to hear until the mastering process brought those frequencies out. And they were completely at odds with the music that existed, which meant having to start again. And I was like, okay, fine, we'll just start again. That's fine. And I did. And it's so much better. So much better. Like, I listened to it yesterday, and I got a fucking all over out of body chill experience. Like all of me fucking stood on end and I rose out of my fucking body on the platform at the train station in the morning, like, yo, this is crazy. And whoa, god damn it, little motherfucker. This is fucking nuts. There's like a biblical weird little flying bug thing going on here right now. There was 2 of them on the windowsill. There's now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This is fucking crazy. I might actually have to cut this broadcast short and deal with this issue. There's like a biblical insect thing going on right here. Shit. Anyway, so let me get through these questions. Ethan says, did you have a different philosophical experience when you made each Meaningwave for Alan Watts, Jordan Peterson, etc.? I don't know exactly what you mean by philosophical experience, but definitely a very different experience. Those are 2 very different human beings. They occupy very different headspaces. They come from very different sides of the cosmos, but they're looking at the same sun. They're orbiting the same sun. And they're both very, 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 very useful, powerful, integrated individuals from which there are much to learn. Ethan says the flies of chaos are telling you something. Yeah, what are they telling me, do you think? This is really crazy. There was 2 on the windowsill. Now there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. There's 16 now. There's 2 on my desk here. There's 1 on my... What the frick? Well, there's a bunch on the floor. Yo, this is fucking crazy. Whoa, guys. This is biblical. Okay, let me see. Is this a test to see if I can hold it together and do a useful international broadcast while in the midst of some kind of locust plague? We shall see, brothers and sisters. Pepper says, water bug crawled up my arm when I woke up this past week, scared the hell out of me. What the bug? Is that like water sheep? What the sheep? What the bugs? What the sheep? What the bug? What the sheep? Right. Gnome Shura says, scared of bugs? Question mark, lol. I wouldn't say scared. Sort of concerned, like, why are there loads of bugs? Why is there so many bugs? And how have they gone from 2 to a whole goddamn bunch of them in the course of not very long? What is going on? That's what I want to know. Okay, let's continue with these questions. Thundersh. That's a cool name, Thundersh. How do you, as much as you do, at the pace you do it, without feeling overwhelmed or distracted? I guess the more practical question would be, how do you prioritize your day and not get distracted? Also, what do you think of the discussions about the Amazon fires and the demand/consumption of meat on the interwebs right now? Do you think it's a fair point to bring up? That's 2 big questions. Let me quickly, which one shall I answer first? All right. How do I do as much as I do without becoming overwhelmed or distracted? Pretty simple. You just kind of, you operate from a place of meaning. So you've isolated what has meaning to you and what's important. So the stuff you are doing is congruent with that meaning, i.e. your higher values are congruent with the practicalities of what you're actually doing. So that way it's no problem to do it. All right. Then it's a case of prioritizing and making lists. I've got way better since I started prioritizing and making lists. So I've got my shit broken down into the important stuff I need to do every day to keep this whole operation going, and the important stuff I need to do for the projects to get the projects done. And I just break everything down into lists and I tick them off. That's fucking it, you know. And as far as distractions, it's like, how are you going to get distracted when you're working in congruence with your highest values, man? Or also if you like turn your phone over or put it onto airplane mode. You know what I mean? And we've talked about all this stuff before. I find batching helps. So doing tasks, similar tasks in groups helps because you're a lot less likely to get distracted. Your mind is in the mini zone of what you're doing. That all helps. You know. So yeah. And as for the Amazon fires, I don't really know much about what's going on there. I haven't been paying attention to the news. I've been working very hard. The demand consumption of meat, there's been a meme going on. It's interesting if this is being tied to that, because like there's an agenda, there's a very specific agenda to stop people eating meat and to basically make people eat like bugs and turn people into sickly, weak, little bug lettuce munching like creatures that live in boxes and don't bother the powers that be. And I mock these morons and I laugh in their face. And you know, I don't know, I mean, I only eat meat, right? I only eat meat and I'm not going to stop. Now, there's conversations to be had about like farming meat in more ethical ways. And they are there to be had. They're not for me to really have because I don't have much sway on that part of the world. That's not really my wheelhouse. And I believe that it can be done in a far more efficient, humane, and like non-destructive fashion. And that's definitely what we should do. And that's what we should do. I think like eating bugs and beyond meat is it's not just stupid, it's actually evil. And maybe we can talk more about this because it's a pretty big conversation. So maybe we can talk more about this like next week. Maybe if you want to know more about that, get me some more specific questions and I'll formulate my thoughts on it more, because I do think a lot about it and I talk quite a lot about it with my wife, but I haven't spoken publicly about this stuff very much yet, and it's something that I have stakes in. I do have stakes in it. I tell you this, and I say this quite a lot, but I think an issue that we have is the framing of us as separate from nature. People be on this, we're destroying nature, or what about it? It's like, we are nature. And as I've said often, a nuclear power plant is as much a part of nature as a beaver dam. And either you believe in nature or you don't. And one thing that we're here for is to get out of here. Life wants to live. We are tethered to a dying star. Life wants to live. All right? If you think of the earth as an organism or whatever, it wants to carry on living. When that sun goes out, it's fucking death time for everything on this planet. If we can't get our asses out there into space, guess who doesn't have thumbs? Everybody who isn't us. Specifically cows, man. Cows ain't got no fucking thumbs. Cows and humans go together. Cattle and humans is a synergy. All right? It's a synergy. If we stop, one thing is if we stop eating these animals, they cease to exist for a major part. Anyway, this is a massive conversation and we can talk more about it. But I will say that life wants to live. We need to get off of this away from this dying star. And we got the thumbs, all right? And we're not going to be able to do it eating fucking bugs and beyond meat burgers and fucking soy. All right. So that's what I've got to say on that. God damn it. Yeah. Darren says, any immediate plans for more ATD originals? I listen to the Golden Age every morning on my train commute to uplift my morning and remind me we're in a Golden Age. Well, that's a wonderful thing to hear. Thank you very much, Darren. There is definitely a plan for more Akira the Don vocal stuff. And, I've spoke about this before, but one of the reasons I made Meaningwave was I realized I was not ready to make the album I wanted to make yet, because I just wasn't smart enough yet, or wise enough yet, or hadn't had enough lived experience yet to make the useful record I wanted to make that spoke about the things I wanted to speak about, to the people I wanted to talk to, at the level of usefulness and awareness and congruence that I felt necessary. And then through making all this Meaningwave stuff, that's basically fucking fast-tracked me to a position that it would have taken me decades to reach otherwise. Which means I'm ready, pretty ready. I think I'm ready. So I've got a schedule of Meaningwave records that I'm making, and the schedule is formulated such that we acquire certain wisdom between us, and we acquire certain skills and certain knowledge and certain abilities to understand certain things and stuff of that nature. And once that is done, we will be ready for that record. But there's going to be singles along the way. Yeah. So yeah. Julie says, source meat locally from an ethical farmer. Yeah, there you go. Boom. Easy. It's responsible and meaningful. My kids know where their food came from and are grateful. Exactly. Yeah. So Pepper says, water bugs look like roaches. That's good to know. These bugs I've got, they're like really small. They're like a centimeter long. They've got wings. They've kind of got orangey red faces, snouts. And I don't know what they're up to. Man, I don't know what the frick they're up to. 420 Iron Firehorse says, even the Dalai Lama eats beef and other animals to extend his life. He would be dead if he stayed vegetarian. Quite, indeed. The Dalai Lama also upset everybody recently by suggesting that population replacement level immigration might be bad or something. And he upset lots of people, so now the Dalai Lama got cancelled. Dalai Lama's cancelled. Imagine that. So thank you, Fundish, for that question. Cindy Bailey says, would you consider mixing an album featuring Bob Lazar on Joe Rogan's podcast? Dude, if you put that out by or on 9/20, I would call that perfect timing. Would you? Would you be surprised if your friendly neighborhood Don didn't have something prepared for the storming of Area 51? Ooh, that rhymed. Do you know who's really interested in storming Area 51? Hercules. My son Hercules is very interested in that whole thing, and he keeps oscillating on his thoughts about it. What he said a few weeks ago, he was like, Dad, what if it's a trick by the people at Area 51 to get everyone to go there so they can shoot them? Big brain. Herky big brain. Oh my goodness. YouTube! A question from YouTube. Wow. The heck? Matthias Clock says, bruh, when is next JBP wave? Well, what can I tell you about the schedule? I can tell you that the Gary V album is finished. I can tell you that the Joseph Campbell album is underway. And I can tell you that coming up, we've got the Jocko sequel, we've got the new JBP. And I won't tell you, I've got some other stuff, but there's lots of other stuff. But yeah, so basically, yeah, there's new JBP in the works. That's started formulating. The Joseph Campbell album is the next major album after the Gary V album, which is finished. And we're also going to have a new Jocko album, and there's just lots of other things. Think about it like they've just announced more of Marvel Phase 4, right? And they'd already announced like 20 things, and now there's another bunch of things that they're announcing, and those things are like half finished and shit. Like, what? Think of it like that. That's how we're getting it down. It's like that. All right, it's like that. And there's basically, also I'm going to be doing a lot more singles. A lot more singles, so we can get different voices out there and different perspectives. You know, like making a whole album obviously is a massive endeavor and it takes a lot of time. But you know, that the Noam Chomsky record actually happened very fast because it was it's just one idea. I didn't have to research a whole album's worth of stuff, this, that, and the other. So like, I'm doing a bunch more singles, so we can look forward to that. Yeah. All right, questions. Greg V. Arias says, what do you think about notjordanpeterson.com and the deepfake future? All right, if you don't know about this, someone actually sent me a message seemingly seriously saying, oh, while Peterson's on hiatus and you're waiting for him to say cool new stuff, use this website and you can type in anything you want and it comes out in his voice. And I'd be like, why would I put words into his mouth? That's the opposite of what I've been doing. It's honestly the opposite of what I've been doing. The very opposite of what I've been doing is trying to put words in other people's mouths and make it seem like they're saying things. 2, I find it very interesting that the first... Whoa! Motherfucker! Wiggler! That the first like convincing audio deepfake generator that we've come across is of Peterson. And Peterson's whole thing is tell the truth, right? Peterson's whole thing is Peterson is incredibly careful about what he says, the language he uses, the way he puts things. And here we have something where you can make him say anything. That's very interesting. That's like, you know, it's one of those that if you believe in the simulation, that's as about a simulation scripting as you could get. And if you believe in a kind of overarching Illuminatist conspiracy, it kind of fits in with that as well. It's pretty mind-melting that would be the case. And yeah, so you could very easily make Jordan Peterson say something awful and morons would believe that he said that. We're already at that point. Deepfakes are already good enough. Like deepfakes, I've been following deepfakes from the beginning. I followed the Reddit deepfake thing from the beginning. I keep an eye on that. Deepfake, if you don't know what that is, it's where you can basically take a face and plaster it onto someone else's face in a video and make it look like that person. You can also do it with photos now. You can animate photos, so it's just like a person talking. They've done it with historical photos, and it looks very convincing. So we're now already at the point where you could create audio and video of a person doing something they've never done. It has obviously incredible implications for I don't like this word. Sense making. People have been sense making is a buzzword at the moment, and I don't like it for various reasons. But yes, it has major implications for sense making, I guess. It has major implications for all sorts of things. It has major implications for the movie industry, by the way. It got to the point with the music industry after the collapse that certain artists were better, were going to make more money dead than alive. Michael Jackson was certainly one of those guys, and now he's dead. Certain actors are going to be more useful to film studios dead than alive when you can animate dead corpse easily. You know, you've got enough footage. You've got enough footage of, say, Keanu Reeves to make an infinity of Keanu Reeves movies now. Of Tom Cruise, someone like Tom Cruise, same. You could make an infinity of Tom Cruise movies based upon existing performances transformed into deepfake type stuff, post-deepfake type stuff, which means you don't need him to be alive anymore. Which also means that the issue that Hollywood has now, which is that there are no movie stars. There are no new movie stars. There are no new movie stars. Once upon a time in Hollywood, it was interesting because those are like Brad Pitt and Leonardo DiCaprio are pretty much like the last movie stars, and even they couldn't get a #1 movie. It's like there are no movie stars anymore. That thing is over. So what they can do now though is like resurrect the corpses of existing movie stars and just rinse them for eternity. So God, yeah, it's very interesting. It's going to be very difficult for people to distinguish truth from fiction, and it already is. It already is. And already, as we've talked about, people would rather hallucinate a fiction than admit a reality that goes against what they already believe and public statements they've already made. As I mentioned last week, something I realized was one of the number one rules in persuasion is that if you can get a person to make a public statement about something, then they'll stick to that. So if you're selling someone a car and you can get them to say, yeah, this is the car for me, you're right, I'm the kind of guy who likes this kind of car, then they're going to buy the car, because even if they realize they could buy another car and it's cheaper or something like that, they're going to buy that car because people don't like to act against their self-image and their public self-image and public statements. And social media is nothing if it is not a public statement extraction machine on a daily basis, extracting public statements from everybody that everybody then feels they have to live in line with, no matter what opposing evidence is revealed. The Russia thing is a great example of this. Millions of people are going to believe that happened no matter what the evidence suggests, because they've invested so much into it. So it's interesting because the deepfake thing, will that exacerbate that? Will it make any difference? Who knows? Hey, shout out to Cosmic Roasters. Thank you for the 1111 super chat. There's an auspicious number. And my wife has really been enjoying the gift you sent us. Cosmic Roasters sent us a coffee making machine and some really amazing coffee. And by the way, that woke me up today and made it so that I was here on time. That coffee machine was making some crazy noise at 11:15, which got me up, and that's why I was perfectly on time to do the stream. So thanks to you. Diverting Tales says, can't wait for Disney's Iron Man remake in 50 years. Robert Downey Jr. deepfake edition. I honestly think it will be quicker than that. I honestly think it's more like 10. I actually was thinking about Iron Man specifically in this, because we have, in one of the movies, you have the de-aging, the very impressive de-aging technology used to show a young Tony Stark, right? And I think Tony Stark will be back in the MCU in under 10 years, and that's what they'll just be using, that technology. They won't even have to use him. But yeah, we will see. We will see. 10 more minutes. These the plague is increasing. There's way more of these buzzy things now. By the way, I'm going to ask you guys a question. What do you think this means? What is the significance of these little insects? They're crawling all over my legs right now. There's one on my head. They're all over the floor. What is the significance? Why are they here? What does it mean? And what is the good that can be derived from this situation? Brothers and sisters, let me know in the chat. Questions. Second to last question, pre-submitted. Slight Bartifast the Happy says, any chance the live stream will go back up? Sunday DJ streams. What do you mean? They're every Sunday. They're every Sunday. So every Sunday we do a live DJ stream from here. Oh, and but they don't post live onto the YouTube channel, but they're archived. And if you're on Patreon or Subscribestar, you can watch them there and download them as well. I make audio available for download. So anyone who's on Subscribestar or Patreon at any level, $1, has access to those live streams. So there you go. Sir Peppers, what do you think is the sacred calf of the Zommers? Well, by the way, I'll drop a clip from the JRE Dan Crenshaw interview in suggestions. He was saying a lot of things about getting after it. Well, that's good. Thank you. The more people we have talking about getting after it, the better. But I don't actually understand the question. What do you think is the sacred calf of the Zommers? I don't know. Is the answer? Who are the Zommers? Educate me. I'm going to have to Google this. I mean, the sacred calf, that was something biblical, right? Cows are sacred in Hindu land. I don't know, man. This is where you've brushed up against my vast ignorance. Which is really the thing that I'm most aware of these days. This Meaningwave thing, you're like, holy shit, look at all this stuff I don't know. Look at all this stuff these people know that I don't know. And then it's like you can kind of glean stuff from them and you can learn things and but there's so much to know and there's so much we don't know, which is very exciting. There is a fucking adventure. There is an adventure. There's this weird meme in contemporary society that like we've discovered everything that needs to be discovered and this, that and the other. That's what people always think. People thought that before they invented electricity. Like the scientific community of the late 1800s were convinced that they had discovered everything that needed discovering, and they might as well just quit. So yeah. Sir Peppers says Zoomers is the meme for Generation X. Oh, Zoomers. Oh, so let me read the question with that in mind then. Sorry. Oh, you said Zommers. You'd written Zommers, Sir Peppers, not Zoomers. The sacred calf of the Zommers. Do you mean sacred calf or sacred call? Do you mean what is sacred to Zoomers? Freedom of expression, freedom of integration, freedom of mingling. Zoomers come from a world of only internet. Zoomers have never known anything else. I basically liked by the way, they're now called Generation Z and Zoomers. That's been decided. But for a week back there, Generation Omega was put out there, and I really liked that. I like thinking of them like that. Now, they are a people who've only ever known the internet. I am of the last generation that had both. Like, I left school at 16, and there was no internet. And then next year there was, basically, in the UK. The way they got people to adopt the internet in the UK, by the way, was free, making it free. There was a thing called FreeServe, and they just gave everybody a CD-ROM that had internet on it. It was like, you can all have internet for free. Because people had been like, oh, this internet looks stupid and weird, I can't be bothered. But then they gave it to everybody for free, and everyone's like, fuck it, let's try this internet. Anyway, the first musical festival I went to, I didn't have a mobile phone. I lost all my homies on the first day. I didn't see them again until Monday. I had adventures, ladies and gentlemen. Oh my goodness. You can't have adventures like that anymore. You can have new adventures. And Zoomers, man. Zoomers don't know about that shit. Zoomers have only ever known the internet. When I was a kid, when there was no internet, there were genres and there were divisions. If you like rock music, you only like rock music. You didn't really like other stuff, and you didn't hang out with other people who liked other stuff. And if you like rap music, that's what you liked, and so on and so forth. And people were in tribes, and they kept themselves to themselves. I wasn't like that. I liked rock music and rap music and indie and dance and all these things, but I was the only person like that I knew, and everyone thought I was a fucking weirdo. The internet made us all into weirdos, and that was one of the glorious things of the internet. The internet revealed that there are weirdos like you all over the world, and you can talk to them and you can hang out with them, and you can become friends and you can network and you can create new things together. And Zoomers don't know boundaries like that. Zoomers listen to everything if they just like it. And Zoomers, it's the same with their humor. Zoomers don't have boundaries in their humor. Zoomers aren't like, no, that's not, you can't laugh about that and do. Zoomers are also in a way like reactionary against the Neo-Puritans that permeated the millennial generation, I guess, in the same way that Generation Z reacted against boomers. So Zoomers are like really, really dope superhumans to me. They're really dope superhumans because, they've had the internet their whole lives. They're fucking technical geniuses. They understand mathematics. They understand, even if they don't understand it consciously, they subconsciously understand and utilize the power of chaos magic on a daily basis, just like it was the most normal thing on Earth. Zoomers have the ability to affect the world in a way that previous generations do not, because previous generations have built up barriers in their minds that they think they can't do certain stuff, and Zoomers just expect that they can, believe they can, and do. They just do. So Zoomers will fucking change the world. Now, as far as your question, which I couldn't quite work out, if that was their calling is to save the world. Their calling is to save humanity. Their calling is to help us evolve to the next stage. I talk about this a lot. I believe that we're in the chrysalis formation. We're about to become butterflies. We haven't yet been born. We're about to be born. Zoomers are a big thing in helping us become born. So I'm hyped. All right, I'm hyped. Shouts out to George. Thank you for the €2 Super Chat says, hey Akira, are you part of the Yang gang? Yeah. No, I'm part of the Wave gang. Wave gang or drown. Wave gang or get off the boat. Wave gang or get rolled on. Wave gang. All right, that's what's up. Wave gang. Splash, 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 drip, drip, drip. That's the only gang I'm interested in being in, is like my gang, your gang, our gang. All right, I'm not interested in politicians. I'll pay attention to what they're doing. Maybe they got some ideas and stuff of that nature, but I've been alive long enough to know that you cannot trust a politician, even if they seem like the nicest person in the world. And allying yourself to someone else's gang, just be careful, all right? Be careful before you join someone else's gang. What was it? Thingy Bob. You know, I don't want to be part of a group that would have me. Is that what Groucho Marx said? I don't know. But yeah, anyway. And you know, I just haven't had enough time to research Andrew Yang yet to be able to claim any kind of gang affiliation or say whether I agree with him or not. I know Elon is in with him and I trust Elon, but I can't go in with people based on other people's recommendations. I got to do my own research and shit, baby. Noma Shura says, fuck yeah, brother. And yeah, exactly. Julie, okay, about these goddamn bugs. The bugs are keeping you grounded in your gorgeous new place. No escaping bugs in August. That's a good point. That's a very good point. There is no escaping bugs in August, even if you live in a beautiful fucking penthouse in West Hollywood with incredibly aesthetic windows. Oh my goodness. Yeah, maybe that's it. Don't need to be in a gang, says No Mashura. Couldn't resonate more with that. Yeah, man. George says, well, Andrew Yang isn't really a politician, watches Joe Rogan podcast. I did watch his Rogan podcast. And yeah, I like a lot of what he has to say. Some other stuff I don't like. He, for example, he's been doing politician type stuff of like answering questions in a kind of sneaky type way. And, I've seen him sort of buying into this identity politics, divisive, calling people N-words and R-words and this type of thing, all that stuff. I can't get down with that. Maybe it was out of context. Maybe he's like trying to, but if you're trying to get involved in politics, by definition, you have to play the politics game, which kind of seems to lead to, I don't know, I've never seen anyone actually manage to do it. Diverting Tale says, as a Zoomer, I can buy Plato's Republic in a great hardcover for €10, which was unimaginable for my father, and can download Nietzsche's books for free onto my Kindle. Yes. A goddamn man. That's an amazing thing. I was at the train station yesterday, and I was trying to read Marcus Aurelius' Meditations on my phone, but the internet had gone and I hadn't downloaded the new chapter yet. I was a bit annoyed. And then I looked to my right, and the dude to my right was reading Marcus Aurelius' Meditations, and he was reading the paperback copy, which you can get from Amazon for $3 because I've got the same one. I was like, yeah, what a time to be alive. Just like reading Stoic wisdoms at the train station. No, I'm sure it says Akira 2020. Shabba. Exactly. Yeah. Booby dooby. Do we have any more questions? We will take one more question. Then we be bouncing, and then I'm going to work out what to do about these bugs. There you go. Here's a question for you. What should I do about these bugs? I kind of feel mean. I don't want to kill them. Like, they're just out here trying to live. But they're annoying. And also all my DJ equipment's up here, and I don't want them like infesting it. There's a lot of these motherfuckers. They're now at the close, they're all over the floor. What the hell is going on? Yo. Anyway. So this has been an interesting broadcast. I wonder what this will be like listening back to on a podcast. Anyway, thank you for being here. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for hanging out. And I hope you've enjoyed the content this week. We've got a week's worth of fantastic content for you next week, already planned out, because we're way more organized around here these days. we're way more organized because, you know, if you're going to be hyper productive and if you're going to live in the zone, you need some discipline, you need some organization. All right, you can't just like bounce around from thing to thing and expect it all to work out. You need some discipline, baby. Get some discipline in your life. Watch what happens. Oh my god. Gabby says, have you taken the hunk pill? Well, I'll tell you one thing. I've been thinking of getting like a honk horn for my scooter. It's currently got a bell, like a ding ding bell. And I was thinking of getting a honky clown horn for it, just so every time I pass something clownish, which is quite often, you know, I live in Los Angeles, the billboards around here are getting incredibly clownish. It would be nice to be able to just honk. That would like alleviate, because you know the thing when you see stuff and you're like, god damn, you see a thing that annoys you or you see a thing that's like evil, you know, and you don't want to be possessed by the negativity or possessed by those ideas or anything like that. And in my head, I actually find that going honk honk is very helpful because it just kind of, it seems to dissolve the negativity or the poison of the thing. So yeah. Anyway, I got to get out of here and deal with this plague of locusts or whatever they are. I don't know what they are. Hey, tell you what, I'm gonna put the camera on them. You can, if anyone knows what they are, let me know. Look at these little guys. What is that? What are these dudes? Look at, here's one. And they're dumb, right? They're just trying to get out the window and it's a window. Like, these motherfuckers are not going to get us into space. You know what I mean? Alright, these motherfuckers aren't getting us off the dying star. What is it? What are they? Yeah, let me know. We need to know. Inquiring minds need to know. Hey, Hercules! Do you want to say goodbye? Yeah, we're finishing the broadcast. Do you want to say goodbye? Alright. Hercules is going to come up and say goodbye. Yeah. Here comes Hercules, gonna say goodbye. Yes, he is. Hercules gonna say goodbye. He's gonna say it is. Yes, he is. Yes, he is. Yes, he is.
Bye, guys.
Hey, Hercules, are you gonna take the honk pill?
What?
The honk pill is a declaration of freedom and an act of philosophical transcendence. Come back, wait a minute. It is the simultaneous acknowledgement of the black pill with the decision to avoid its attendant nihilism by consciously choosing to seek joy, to seek adventure, to seek light-hearted and self-amused mastery in the midst of chaos. The honk pill is a philosophy unto itself, and perhaps in these trying times, it's just medicine this broken world needs. Come back. Oi, we're finished. Anyway, I like a lot of that. I think that avoiding nihilism is a wonderful idea. I think seeking joy and adventure is a wonderful thing to do. And, you know, it really upsets the authoritarians, the prudes, the morons, the meanies.
Yeah.
There's nothing they dislike more than joyful people who don't take things too seriously.
These were the cool treasures I found at I think it was Canyon School.
You found treasures. This is your little box of treasures.
Yeah, that I got.
Hercules has shown me a box of treasures.
That I got from when I was in preschool. Been keeping this ever since I was in preschool. Now I'm in first grade.
Oh, my son.
I had a diamond.
This is your little box of treasures that you've had since preschool.
Look at all these.
Hercules is very, he's a sweet boy. He's a loving boy. And he has quite a sense of nostalgia. Anyway, we're gonna get out of here. Third place says, seek joy. Healing starts at the frequency of joy. Yeah, man. Exactly. Seek joy. Hercules, you're saying good to say goodbye to everybody?
Okay, goodbye, guys.
Goodbye, guys, says Hercules. Thank you guys for being here. Thank you for tuning in.
Thank you for watching the Akira, Ask Akira 41.
41, brothers and sisters. We'll be back next week. We'll be here tomorrow doing a live DJ set. Tomorrow is Sunday, isn't it? Yep. We'll be doing a live DJ set here tomorrow, so tune in then. Content all next week. Got a new single next week. Got cool music videos dropping. Got a new mix. And yeah, so thank you for being here. I've been Akira the Don. This has been Ask Akira. Thank you for being here. Oh, hang on a sec. Cindy Bailey says they look like termites. Not cool. Oh, what, really? Termites? That's really not cool. Do termites have wings? Well, shit. All right. That's bummed me out. Focus on the good. Focus on the good. Termites in your house. Get a new house. I don't know. All right, boom. I'm getting out of here. I'm going to deal with these little motherfuckers. All right. Love you guys. Bless up.